What is up, guys? This is Rod with Ono GTO, and we are back. This is part two of day one of my 1,000 and 10,000 bankroll challenge. Things are going pretty good right now. We've got a three stack on one table, a stack and a half on one, and the other two are just kind of, just a stack and a stack pretty much. So, and actually, we're going to top up right here. Yeah, the first part one went really well. I think um, what did we do? We actually stacked two players with pocket tens. They both ended up having ace king, which is wonderful. Um, I don't expect that to happen too often, but also at the same time, though, if they both have the same hand, that just I mean it's pretty cool, you know. I mean it's like you get two stacks for the price of one. Yeah, I mean literally, you know, like when they have the same exact hand. Right. It's kind of weird to check. I probably would prefer to call there, but I'm trying to focus on this hand. It is kind of weird to check on this type of texture. But I just don't think I'm going to get very many bluffs through. Or sorry, not many bluffs through. Excuse me. I just don't think I'm going to get any value unless he bluffs at it. Probably a little greedy here. We're just going to fold the Jack six. I don't really care if that times out or not. Yeah, with how laggy it spins, it's probably going to be the strategy going forward when it's a hand I don't really care about. I'm just going to let it time out. As long as you don't do that like two hands in a row, they will not sit you out. So I think you do once you do it two hands in a row, you do get set out, and you can't actually lose your spot at the table. So which is not ideal. All right. Yeah, what were we talking about in part one? Oh yeah. Martin Luther King. I think we're just gonna call Queen seven, good amount of showdown value. Naked six is a straight. I don't think he has it because he checked. So I think we can get some value from the seven. I think. Oh God. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Why didn't he raise there? Right? Like, what is he afraid of? So let's see. Was a jack high straight possible? I don't think it was. Seven, six, seven, eight. Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe a nine high straight sometimes. I've honestly kind of forgotten if there was flush possibilities. I don't know. It's so strange that he raised there. So strange. Yeah. Well, so good. You win some, you lose some. So sometimes they smooth call with the top of your range with the bottom of your range, which is like a beautiful situation if you're getting that much credit on the river with pair sevens. With a one liner, two straight out there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like what I was saying before in part one, it is just strange in our society, like the amount of violence that is acceptable. And don't get me wrong, I'm not preaching to the choir here. I love true crime television. Like there hasn't been a Netflix murder doc that I have not just fucking, like by the way, that was me eating off a platter, not doing something else. Um, there's not been a single one um, that I found that I can get with. They're awesome. I don't. I'm just mainly remarking on the oddity of it all. Hmm. If anyone's not in America, like, is that like a thing? Is it like a thing, but in reverse in like other countries, say like in Europe? I feel like Japan is probably something like that. I feel like there are a fair amount of things that are like sexualized over in Japan. Um, it's mainly like when it just comes to like what do they call it? Anime or is it hentai? But like hentai doesn't have to be is not necessarily like explicit, right? Like explicit like content that is. Like it can like there's like hentai that is like kind of got like a cool story behind it or something like that. Is that another thing that people say is like, oh yeah, I watch it for the stories. It's a nice story of a girl with her boobs out, like something like that. Uh, I guess we'll check it here. I'm really not quite sure what to do on the turn. Well, I know what to do now. Um, um, I don't. There's no value in raising for sure. They do show up with a king sometimes. There might have been like a case for like a min raise or something like that. Yeah, maybe a min raise. Little dabble do you, type deal. I don't know. Like I said, there there wasn't much value in raising it. It's not that there was no value in raising, but I just feel like a lot. I don't know. I just feel like you run into it sometimes. When you do that, check. I'm all but giving up on his hand. Could flop a very bad straight. And, I'm sorry I'm not checking stats as much. It's kind of difficult with how laggy the screen's been. More or less, if I'm going to play against somebody there, I will kind of have an idea of what they're doing. Kind of what happens when we're getting sound on the flop, and just really have to set doesn't come out. That is a bad flop, but I don't really think there's much else to do. Just kind of happens like an ace queen situation or ace jack situation that we're up against, or either one of them. And it was jacks. That's unfortunate. Guess you try to check down some period of the time. Um, I don't know. It probably wouldn't have been bad just pre-flop just to jam it all in. I mean, because at least that way I might have had a better chance of getting his money, and then yeah, uh, might have had a chance of getting his money, and at least I probably would have more or less been somewhat even from where I started. So let's see, he had a short stack. It's all good though. What's gonna happen sometimes, and and I mean, you could say there might have been some merit in trying to getting the flop to check through. Um, might be a bad call with eights. But trying to get the flop to check through. but I don't know. Probably going to fold. Not really sure what he's doing that with, but I feel like it probably has his beat, or it was just a good play by him. Okay, we are ace magnets. Hopefully, this one goes a little bit better. Alrighty. I think we've learned our lesson the first time, and we're definitely going to. Well, actually, I don't. A check was probably bad there, but king. There's just so many two pairs on this board, like so many. I was going to say like a nine would be like heaven sent. We are going to attempt to get some value from this hand. This has to go through four folks, so not really liking the odds there, and also the flush completes. And I'm glad I won the hand. We're having fun, guys. We're having fun. We really only had one hand, truly, that didn't go our way. And that is literally all anyone could ever hope for. You know, a lot of success. Yeah, a couple bumps in the road, but you manage it and you learn from it. Mm, I'm just gonna fold. Like early position. Well, I don't know. It's kind of more MP, but I don't. I feel like giving up ace eight offsuit is probably never like a horrible play. I probably am giving up some sort of micro like EV by doing that. It's fine. Sixes, generally early position, even at eight max, I prefer to raise with sevens plus, but sixes are it's probably going to be plenty good. You get a lot of colors and just hope to hit a set and then hope it holds well. That is not going to be my hand. Yeah, on the aces hand where the guy hit a set of jacks. Yeah, I think the issue is just like, when I 40, I think when I go to like 48 big blinds, which was like, can't remember. I don't know, it was five, six, seven, I don't know, something like that. It was pretty high. Let's just say it was like 7x or something like that. Yeah, when you do that and they call, it's, I don't know, not a whole lot of people are always, there are a lot of people that aren't just gonna go all in with like queens and jacks, like pre-flop. And I feel like you run into pocket jacks a lot and pocket queens a lot. And when the flop comes out like that, they have set quite often. So I don't know. Maybe just something to tag in my brain for the future. Right. What's our time here? Okay, we're about halfway in this thing. It's gonna be nice when we shut this down. I'm gonna go upstairs and get some good sleep. I hope you guys are doing good. And I hope you like this new format. I will, as much as I can, try to talk about what my strategy and thought process is for each hand as it happens in real time. But I'm going to jump around a little bit and then talk about a bunch of random shit. Talk about hopefully some cool shits and I don't know if you guys like want to bring up some subjects for me to talk about. I'm happy to kind of um, bring that up. Oh God. Oh, yawn like hell. Is this guy likely gonna lit? I think he will. Rather than maybe just open shove with those, I'm fine folding king jack. I really like that hand. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Main thing is I just kind of I just didn't want to fuck around. Like I just wanted to get that guy's stack and just leave. We're just gonna put this guy in. We're checking here like almost 100% of our range. Yeah, you got it, bud. Yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to get that guy's money, and then if he called on it, we're hoping he has jacks or queens, and then we're having him getting a massive stack. Um, I'm doing my best to simplify, um, and yeah, just doing my best to simplify. Um, okay. I think that was a proper raise there, so easily would have been should have been three bet or C bet. That is. Oh wow, he flops a straight. Oh goodness. Why do I sound like an old lady? Oh my goodness. That's sick. No chance. No chance. With that different so no chance in hell. This is two pair a lot, isn't it? Um, 30. Oh, no. I'm just gonna save the money. I think we win here a lot, though. Of course. Check. So honestly, I think we're mainly afraid of him just having a deuce. So he did lead out at least once. Yeah, as much as I've enjoyed playing this on my TV, I don't think we're gonna keep doing this. This just causes it to lag considerably. All right, we're not really gonna fuck around here. We're just gonna go all in. All right, put that one down. Obviously worried about maybe a similar situation as the previous hand. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna do what we can to somewhat retain our equity, even if they do raise. I think we'll probably have some implied odds. Well, not to 35. I was hoping maybe they would make it smaller. And he does have a short stack. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna give it up. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty similar situation to the previous hand, except this time I flopped a set and I have just a spare pair of aces, or just a naked pair of aces. So, but maybe similar concern there. But I guess obviously less concerned about a set, just given that I blocked one of the three combos of sets. So, uh, yeah, when I saw that king come out, I was just like, oh, let's go straight. Um, this is kind of like an overlap situation since I'm so early positioned, but he's got a short stack, and I think his PFR is a little bit on the low side. So I do feel like his range. I don't know. I feel like he does have a better hand than us. I guess to put it that way. More often than not. Um, and then when we get three bet, I feel like we're in a tough spot with King Jack, and we're probably just going to fold a lot. Yeah, we're probably going to fold after this kind of C bets. Hmm. Or will we? Yeah, we're going to fold. But I promise I'm not checking the time here. I don't want to short you guys, but I am ready to get in bed. This session has gone pretty good. Pretty good. Flop some sets, or maybe just flop one set, honestly. Um, River to set. I think we talked about the complexities of turning and rivering a set and how disguised it is. Yeah. Um, I don't know, guys. What else do we want to talk about? Does anybody take creatine? You know, the cool thing that so creatine, for those of you who don't know, is a supplement that um, um, effectively increases the usable energy in your muscles. So let's see here. I think we're just going to call with ace eight. Um, okay, cool. All right. So basically, how things work in the body is that I really don't like double calling. And actually, I think we're going to fold. Yeah, I think we're just going to fold. Um, excuse me. So you've got um, so phosphate, which is more or less like a fancy word for saying phosphorus. You've got phosphorus stores or phosphate stores in your muscles, and you've got two forms, like one that's referred to as ADP, and the other one that's referred to as ATP. And pretty much what ADP is just um, ADP with like an extra phosphate group added. And when you're in the middle of strenuous exercise, you know, your phosphate stores get depleted, and your body works as hard as it can to. Yes, let's go 20. And works as hard as it can to keep adding more phosphate so you can, you know, continue working out and continue, like, you know, I guess in a fight or flight, you know, sort of scenario, like fighting that lion off or running away from that lion. But you know, eventually those get depleted. You know, like it's just law of diminishing returns. That is a great flop. Yeah, I don't think he's ever afraid of a straight there. All right, we got lots of hands, so I don't have like great time to check stats. But ace king seems pretty cut and dry. Anyway, so eventually those phosphate stores get depleted, and so the ADP that gets converted to ATP by adding like a phosphate group, eventually that process stops. So pretty much like what supplement creatine does. Um, I feel like there's sets here a lot. call. Well, I don't know. Did he limp? That's the button. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pause real quick on the science channel with you. All right. Cool. All right. So anyway, so phosphates gets added to ADP from your body, and it converts to ADP, and then so it becomes usable energy, like just what you can use to exert force, onto objects. So again, what creatine does is it basically adds or helps like accelerate, I believe, um, I guess the production of phosphate. And yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty cool mechanism because, like, just by, I guess, artificially increasing, like, the available amount of phosphate in your blood, you can more quickly, like, replenish your phosphate and also convert ADP to ATP more readily. So like the basic formula is like the more ADP you have, the more work your muscles can do. Which means like if you're working out, it's like more sets, more reps, like shit like that. So anyway, back to like what I was trying to say though is a study that they've done recently is that creatine actually has some pretty significant neurological or call it cognitive benefits. Um, like when taken in certain doses. I think the dosage that you do for the cognitive benefits versus the performance benefits, like it's like 5 grams per day. I think is the dosage if you're not going to do a loading dose for like for exercise. But for like the cognitive benefits, it's something like we're just hitting sets after sets after sets. Um, okay. Um, but yeah, for the condo benefits, I think it's like 20 to 30 grams a day, which is pretty high. By the way, this is not medical advice or anything like that. Like creatine, should only be used under the medical supervision of a doctor. All else other shit. But anyway, so yeah, but there's like massive cognitive benefits for using creatine. At least kind of preliminary studies have shown. And it was actually kind of cool though, is that some of the research they've done is that it actually helps mitigate some of the negative consequences that comes as a result of sleep deprivation, which is like wild. It's like we know so little about sleep. Like we don't even truly know why we sleep. We know what sleep does for us, but we don't even necessarily know why. Like just at one random time in the night our body chooses to just completely go comatose, which would, really provide no benefit, like in say like a caveman, sort of situation where like you're like asleep and like a lion at any point can just wake you up in the middle of the night and just wreck you. So we don't know we do that, but like there's just like this random supplement that just helps your body more easily access phosphate also has like cognitive benefits. I don't know. It's just it's crazy. But anyway, so yeah, it supposedly helps alleviate some of the negative consequences of sleep deprivation, and actually, in some instances, there actually was, I guess, evidence that the group that was sleep deprived and took and consumed, I guess the recommended dosage of creatine, um, actually performed better than the people that were well rested, which is super interesting. I think there's I don't know what you would call her. like a biologist. I don't know. A scientist lady. Her name's Rhonda Patrick. I think she kind of went into more detail and more uh, specific and even maybe even somewhat prescriptive detail of the studies they've done on creatine as of late. It's pretty interesting. So I guess what I'm saying is take a creatine, folks, after you've consulted your doctor. Cannot emphasize that enough. Please don't sue me. All right, guys. I think this is as good as time as any to shut this ish down. Yeah, I think this has been a good day one. We're just going to keep this momentum going on to day two. I don't want to sort of make any kind of like promises about like when I'm going to go up to 40 an hour. It's probably going to happen soon, but as soon as I say like I'm going to do that, I'm going to get in that shit, and it's just not going to go well. So, that said, love you guys. Thank you for tagging along. Like and subscribe. Help me out. Like this is a brand new channel. Like I need all the love I can get. So, all right, this is me signing out. GTO. Oh no. Goodbye.